Hello, welcome back to my channel, Taurus Gem Tarot. Today we're doing a signs reading for the sign of Sagittarius. I had already pulled the stone and started the reading when I had some technical difficulties, and I had to start over part of the reading because it got deleted. Everything happens for a reason though, right? The first card that I pulled was against nature. The second card, benevolent guide. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe for future readings. It really helps out the channel and I would really appreciate it. Also, if you would comment and let me know how it relates to you and what you think of the reading, I would absolutely love to hear from you. So, against nature. On some level, we all know when we are going against nature. We recognize it in feelings of impatience and agitation that arise when trying to force certain outcomes. The Contra Naturam card arrives to remind the alchemists they cannot control the uncontrollable. Nature has its way, enveloping us in a wild narrative that we can collaborate in but not dictate. No matter our efforts to manage every aspect of our lives, the mess ensues. Spring is soggy. The lotus requires mud. People do what they do. This card heeds a warning not to fight the flow of Mother Nature or of destiny. Once we loosen the grip of what we think life should look like, a whole new realm of possibilities awakens. Now is the time to be radically open to what nature has in store for you. Go deeper. Watch the Talking Heads music video, Nothing But Flowers. To ponder, what we resist persists. Think of this card as trying to force a square peg into a round hole. There's likely a solution waiting for you to see it. Shake things up, dance, tell a joke, take a break. Be mindful if this card appears with the Saturn or the Iron card. All three indicate an overarching structure that may need re-envisioning. Okay. So I think that what this card is talking about is human nature. And going against human nature, sorry, allergies, can cause us to feel impatient and agitation. Like, for example, if somebody is working on something or doing something and you want to get involved or jump in and try to have them do it your way, you may become agitated and impatient if they're wanting to do it a certain way, or they're stubborn, or they just have an idea already of something that they want to do. The idea of, I feel like, nature in this, of the human nature, is not allowing people to be who they are or do what they do, and trying to control or force your opinion or desire for the way it should be done, or intention of some way towards what that is. Like if they're working on a project, or maybe if they're let's say they're putting together a model car. Not sure why I'm using that as an example. They could be doing it in a certain way that they feel like it should be done, but you feel like it should be done in this other way. Maybe you feel like there's a certain way that it needs to be done, and they're not doing it that way. And by trying to tell somebody that they need to do it this other way and not to do it that way, you are being controlling or trying to take control, rather than going with the flow and allowing that person to just be who they are and do what they do, in their, which is what their human nature is. So that could create agitation and impatience within you, because you are not going with the flow and just allowing them to work how they want to work, and just maybe being an observer and maybe just being present, so that they know that if they do come across a problem or an issue, they can come to you comfortably to ask you for assistance or your opinion or something like that. It could also be about your own human nature, and if you like control the things in your own life, like it doesn't necessarily mean that everything in your life is organized and perfect for you to want to be in control of the things in your life. It just means that you're not going with the flow of the way that universe or God or spirit or whoever that you look up to is directing you and wanting you to go, even your inner self, your intuition, your personal self-guidance could be trying to direct you a certain way, wanting you to go with the flow, but you are insistent upon things turning out in a specific, or you have an idea of some specific place that you want to end up, or a specific place that you want to go, but everything in life changes, and so does our path and our direction and the way that it looks like when we finally get there. So I feel like you're being asked to let go of control and just go with the flow and do what you do and be who you are, and allow other people to be who they are, and that could help with feelings of impatience and agitation. It says, nature has its way, enveloping us in a wild narrative that we could collaborate in, but not dictate. So just saying, rather than trying to control how a situation is going to go, or the way that somebody is working on something or behaving, or the direction that you're going in is going to turn out. Just go with the flow and allow it to unfold the way that it intends to. Just because you see that something could be done in a specific, certain kind of way, doesn't mean that the other person doing it isn't going to do a good job. It might not turn out the way that you wanted it to, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to turn out good. And also, that also doesn't mean that it's not going to turn out the way that you wanted it to, just because they didn't do it the way that you wanted them to do it. Because they are who they are, and you are who you are. We're our own people. We have our own human nature, our own way. What did it say? People do what they do. I feel like trying to force things to go a certain way or in a certain direction closes off more opportunities to get there successfully. Because if it doesn't work out the way that you envision it working out, you might give up, or you might think that it's a lost cause. So being open-minded and going with the flow, you could recognize that you have other ways and other options and other routes to get there. And you could recognize that other people have other ways of getting to where they're going as well. Even if it's different from yours. Their path might look different, but they can, if they wanted to, end up in the same place. Like, say, two people wanting to start a business. The path that they took to get to become a business owner might be different for both people. But that doesn't mean they're not both going to be successful and it's not going to work out well. And also, if you have a plan to become a business owner and you're set on doing it this way, this specific way, and then you come across some obstacles that block certain areas or aspects of this direction, then you're not going to recognize the ways around the obstacle, the bridges you could build, or the holes you could dig, the walls you could climb. So I kind of think that that's what this card is talking about, and that's what your message is for what the universe is trying to tell you. What your message is from the universe. So what you need to release is the benevolent guide. And it is really odd, or not odd, but it is very interesting, and that it's actually on the next page. I did not do that on purpose. I shuffled the cards and pulled one out, and then I shuffled them again, and then I pulled out another one. Benevolent guide. How easy is it to doubt the presence of the spirit rector? The alchemist, falling into a moment of forgetfulness, feels alone in the laboratory and begins to doubt their work. Disarray and discontent follow. Who do I listen to? Where do I turn to for guidance? All the while, the benevolent guide hovers close, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be heard. Amidst the noise of the world, it whispers words of kindness and encouragement to the ears of the alchemist. When this card appears, it asks us to recall the guidance we have received at important junctures in our life. That benevolent presence is constant, not conditional. Now is not the time for struggle or fear. Soften into the gentle humming of the wise bee. You cannot make a wrong choice when the spirit rector is near. Go deeper. Read the poem I Am Not I by Juan Ramon Jimenez. To ponder the wind as messenger. Building connection with the Spiritus Rector requires us to engage with the unseen world, the realms barely visible and rarely discussed. Close your eyes and begin. To distinguish it from the mystical sister card, the benevolent guide card is typically experienced as a presence within, not as another person. I feel like this card is saying to release your doubt of the spiritual realm within yourself and within the universe. To release your doubt within yourself. I feel like it could be possible that you could doubt others' ability to handle situations or things that they're doing or working on because of doubt that you might have within yourself. The alchemist, falling into a moment of forgetfulness, feels alone in the laboratory and begins to doubt their work. Disarray and discontent follow. Who do I listen to? Where do I turn to for guidance? All the while, the benevolent guide hovers close, waiting to be acknowledged. So that could be an aspect of you trying to recognize, wanting to recognize yourself as your guide, or recognizing your guide. Your intuition is within you, and maybe you have been feeling like you're doubting yourself, your intuition. Maybe you're not sure, or maybe unsure of yourself, unsure of your intuition, where it's guiding you, where it's leading you, unsure of where you're going or where you want to go. Maybe you're being asked to release doubt and go deeper within yourself to learn and discover things. Because I remember seeing building connection with the Spiritus Rector requires us to engage with the unseen world, the realms barely visible and rarely discussed. Close your eyes and begin. So you would close your eyes to see the unseen, and that leaves you with your senses, your feelings. What are you feeling? How does it make you feel? Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel unsure? Or why do you feel doubt? Or why do you feel fear? It could help to understand why you might feel those things and get to the bottom of understanding and trying to figure out how to overcome those things. I'm not feeling like you forgot that spirit exists, but maybe, like, I feel like what I'm feeling is not that you don't believe, but that you forget that it's there and that it's present always. And it's always there for you. You forget that you can turn to spirit and yourself anytime you need support or guidance. All you have to do is ask a question, and the answers will come to you. You might get some kind of sign from something that you see, or even just walking along. Maybe you're driving to work, because I don't know about you, when I'm driving, I have a clear mind and I'm not so much thinking sometimes, but just clear. Then things just start flowing into you, like thoughts and ideas, and then you have like a aha kind of moment. Like an okay, oh right, I could do that, or that's right, or like you just get a feeling that you just put some pieces together. But I feel like you're being asked to go and explore some unseen parts of yourself to understand what. So I thought it was weird that the Against Nature card and the Benevolent Guide card are right next to each other. I went back to reread it, and I realized it was right there. But I feel like you're being asked to learn and understand yourself better, to find out about your human nature. And by learning and understanding your human nature, you can be more patient and understanding of other people's nature. That could help you be less controlling and more understanding of other people's nature. You're allowing other people to be who they are and do what they do, and you are allowing yourself to be who you are and do what you do. Let's find out what you need to focus on. I'm going to use these cards today. All right, what does Sagittarius need to focus on? One more. All right. What does Sagittarius need to focus on? Okay, I feel like this means that maybe you've been so I feel like you are feeling very burdened and you have a lot on your shoulders. But I feel like some of that burden that you place on yourself doesn't necessarily need to be there because it belongs to somebody else. And so going back to what I was talking about earlier, the example I was giving, if somebody's working on something and you want to try to get them to do it the way that you think that it should be done, you're burdening yourself in a way that doesn't serve you, because that's their thing, and you're creating a stress and a burden for yourself by the feelings of wanting to take control of that situation and have them do it in this particular way or whatever. And by doing that, it's adding more stress and more burden to you that you don't need. And it is preventing you from focusing on moving forward. It's preventing you from having the energy that you need to do what actually does serve you in the way that it would serve you best. I feel like you're more focusing outside of yourself and on other people maybe and what they're doing than focusing enough on yourself. So you're taking on all these other burdens that aren't necessary. So I feel like that is part of the learning to go with the flow message. By learning to go with the flow and allowing people to be themselves and do what they do, you can let go of the control and allow them to do as they are, and just be present and supportive if they ask for help or assistance or guidance or advice, your opinion, rather than trying to force control, because it's not your responsibility and you're making it your responsibility in a sense. And that it drains your energy because you're already focusing on the things in your own, I guess, life, but that you are doing or working on by focusing on what other people are doing or working on. And I feel like what you're supposed to focus on, what you're being asked to focus on, is learning the lessons, getting past, and I guess healing from it. Gaining the knowledge and learning the lessons from going deeper, learning about your nature and other people's nature. Not to say that you need to learn about other people's nature, but accept other people's nature and go with the flow. And remember that spirit is with you, there to guide you, and you also have yourself to be a guide, to let go of taking on the burdens of others and just giving it back to them, or not accepting it when you don't need to, so that you can move on to the next cycle and be done with this one. I feel like that's what your focus is in this part. Focusing on releasing the burdens of others and going more towards self and what you're supposed to be doing, what you should be doing, without worrying so much about what somebody else is doing or what they should be doing. And maybe focusing on your nature and why do you do that? Why do you feel like you need to take control or those kinds of things so that you could learn the lessons and then be successful and complete that lesson and section of your life so that you could have more energy to focus it on your next part of your journey. Okay. Let's see. What do you have to look forward to? I'm going to throw this question in. Releasing pain. Recognizing I know you're probably thinking like, what do you mean pain? But you could be recognizing the pain of trying to carry other people's burdens and what that does to you and how it takes away your energy. Once you've gone deeper and done this work and you completed your lesson and you move on, you will recognize that you will be able to see it. You'll be able to see what happened in the past, how you were doing things, and how you are able to choose not to hurt yourself that way anymore by over exhausting yourself with so many burdens. You'll recognize that you can choose not to do that anymore. But you had the choice all along and you just didn't realize it yet. Anything else? I, for some reason, feel like I need to pick out one more card. And it's this one. This will be our guidance. I am a soldier. Oops. I am a soldier of persistence, and I dominate resistance. When you resist, you conform to the death of creation, the death of yourself. When you create, you destroy resistance. To manifest a life of pure happiness and freedom, you must create it. Therefore, you must destroy resistance. Those sneaky little resistance gremlin buffoons will never stop attacking, but you can decimate their army with continuous action. Persistence is your sharpest weapon. If you keep showing up, you will wear down your enemy. So that's your guidance. If you keep showing up, you will wear down your enemy. Something that caught my attention. I believe it was on. I just saw this, but it wasn't what I was looking for. Once we loosen the grip of what we think life should look like, a whole new realm of possibilities awakens. What we resist persists. So fight resistance. All right, well, that is it for your reading today. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, share. Also, I would love to hear your comments. If it resonated, if you want to share your story, anything. Just if you want to share your comments, I would be happy to hear it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.